So what we do in our code is as follows. So let us go and do step by step. Now I am from PL0, I have to move to PL1. So before going from PL0 to PL1, just to say that I have reached there, I go and move to 0x B600. Why B600? Because DS is B1000, so B600. I move to 0x B600. The value face. Now I go and say, this is line number 51 of your code. Now I go and say call 70:0. So what is 70? Now let us go and see what is 70 here. 70 is a code segment just starts at, a task state segment that starts at B100 and limits 70. Okay. So line 51. So now the line 52, this is a task switch to TSS at 0xB100. Okay. 0xB100. Right, and that happens in line number this happens at line number 50, the previous one, and this happens at line number 51 of the code, as you see here. This call does this 0x70. Now let us go back and see what is there in this. Now slowly let us go and look at everything that we have described here. Some of the things that we need to see is that at 70, where is the 70? It is at 0x D070. This is where the 70th descriptor will be there, because your GDT starts at D1000. I am loading 0x70 in line number 51. So please note that this is again calls task state segment with privilege 1. Privilege 1 and D070 is a privilege 1 and it is having B100 as the base. Sorry, it is a task state segment. This is a privilege 0. PL0. Please note that this is privilege 0. Essentially, a privilege 0 code can call this, and this is pointing to a task state segment starting at B100. Okay. Now let us go and see at B100. So let us see S/10x 0xB100. Now this is how the task state segment is going to look like. Now let us see how this is going to fare. So let us very quickly look into what is there at B100. Now your EIP should be at B120, because when I start executing, I should start executing with the EIP here. This is how the task switch happens. So S/X, actually S/X 0x B120. Right? Okay, so it says starts at 0 offset. This is after, what you see on the left hand side is after the execution, but before execution, the initial state, your EAP is 0, and then S/X 0x B1 4C will basically give you which code segment I am going to use. It says I am using the code segment A9. A9 is a privilege 1 code segment, right? Your code segment is A9. A9 is a privilege 1 code segment. Let us go and see where should it be A9. A9 should be at x/x 0x D0 A8. S/2x. Please note that this is a code segment that starts at A200 of size 200, and please note that this is of privilege 1. The interpretation of these 4 bytes, 8 bytes, this is a descriptor at D0 A8. Let us just see here where is A8. Please note that A8 starts at A200, size 200, and this is the code. So I start executing at 8200 with an offset of 0000. Please note that the EIP to start with is 0000. So I start at 8200. So I start executing 8200 with privilege 1, using a privilege 1 code segment. So my current privilege level actually becomes 1. Now we should also see what is loaded at the remaining things. For example, what is loaded at EX. Let us go and see D048. Okay. B148. It's a null. It is A9. B148 is again. B148 is a null descriptor, and then so I need only this. B148 is a null selector. Then B14C is A9, that is CS. B150 is 41. What is 41? So let us go and see S/2x 0x D040. It's a segment. So the stack actually starts at C100 and base 100, and it's again, please note that it is of privilege level 1. Okay. So here let us go and see. Now I have code segments starting at A200. Limit is 200, everything in hexadecimal. My starting offset is 0. My ES is null descriptor. My SS is the segment C100. SS is code segment is privilege 1. SS is starting at C100 and PL1, and its limit is 100. Now let us see what is DS. B154 is DS, and that is 21. So let us see what is there in S/X 20. This is again a privilege length segment starting at E100. So DS is starting at 0x E100, privilege 1, and the limit is also 100. So this is what happens to DS. And let us see what is in FS, which is 58, and 5C, this is GS, there's also 0, so FS and DS are null. FS and GS are null. And these are done by your single task switching. This is all these things are done by line number 51. Okay. So, and what is your ESP value? So let us go and see where is ESP. ESP is at 56 in this thing, which is 38, 0x38. So your ESP value is S/X 0x B138, which is ESP is 0x50. So ESP is 0x. So that is where it will start. So your stack segment is currently initialized to C100. So C150 is the point where the stack will start. So that is where we are done there to start with. Okay. So now the task switch will happen. So once this task switch, that is the call 0x70 happens, it should now start executing at 8200 because the offset, this is basically the EIP, is set as 0. So it should start executing at 8200. So let us go and see where is 8200. So I do at this point I do align 200, so it comes to 8200. So it starts executing this. At this point, what I am doing, so this is PL1 task. This is line 66. Line 66. So I move AX comma 21. And what is AX comma 21? So this is, let us go to the GDT and find out 0x D020. I am moving to the GS E1100 to GS a PL1 segment. So note that this is a so I should do x/2x, sorry. So this is what I am trying to move. Please note that this is a PL1 data segment type 2 starting at E1100 with base 100. PL1 base E1100 limit 100. This is what I do at line 67. This is your this is the 20th descriptor 0x20, sorry 0x20. Please note E1100 base is 100. Please see on the left hand side, and this is a data read rate. Okay. Now I move GS colon 0x20 phase BOOC. So I am moving to address E120. Basically gets 0x phase B00C. This is line 68. Just to show that we are coming into these routines and I am able to load. Please note that before GS was nothing, now GS has become this. Now I do a call line number 69. I do a switch to privilege 2 by doing a call. So this call is looking at 0x79. What is 0x79 in your? That is 0x78. X slash 2x 0x D078. Now this is another, please note that this is another TSS segment 40A9, again privilege 1, and starting at B200 and 0070. So this is switch to PL2. Again, this is task switch into to TSS at 0xB200. So let us go and see what is there in B200. So S slash 10x 0xB200, and there you see that I should first go and see where is EIP. S slash B220. So EIP is 0000. So your EIP offset is 0x0, and we need to see what is the code segment. The code segment is B248. Sorry, B24C is the code segment B2. So the CS goes to segment descriptor 0xB2. It is nothing but 0xB0. So S slash 2x 0xD0B0 is a segment selector. So this is a code segment that starts at 0xA400 and of size 200, and please note that its privilege level is 2. So 0xB2 selector in GDT, which is nothing but base is 0xA400 and limit is 0x200, and privilege level is 2. And note that your ES segment is null because your F slash X B248 is 000. Let us see what is B250. It points to the segment 4A. So SS points to the segment 4A. 4A is 48 actually of privilege 2. So F slash 2xD0 48. So this is a stack starting at C1200, and this is also of privilege 2. So this is base is 0xC200 and 0x100, and limit is 0x100, and privilege level is 2. Now I have to see for the remaining things. So x slash some 10x I can do. 0x D0 B2 B250. B250 we have seen. B254. There you see that DS is pointing to 2A and your FS and GS are null. FS and GS are null. Your DS is pointing to 2A. And your GS and FS are actually null. What is 2A? That is nothing but go to the GDT and see what is D0 to 8. Actually, A will be 8. This is only the GDT. So this is a data segment starting at E1200 with base as to E1200. And limit as 100. And PL is 2. So all these things happen because of this particular call 0x79:0. This is happening at line number 69. Okay, so this is all done by line number 69.
You want to zoom into the control and then close.
Line number 69. Yeah, just let us try. Okay. Now this should start now. So this call should start now executing at 8400, and it should execute at PL2, right? Because we have now switched to PL2. So let us go and say. So what is this? Is 8200. Now this is 8400. So now your program will start executing at this part. Okay. Now what we'll do now, we now move to line 78. Line 78, and there we move AX to 8 again, the same thing. So your GS now is loaded with 0x2A, which is just 28. So your GS will get base as E1200 and E1200 and limit as 0x100 and PL is 2. That's what your line 78 does. Now I am moving D word GS:20. So your 0x E220 should basically get 0x CAFE BAB. Right? I'll try and just go and mark some of the things that we will now need to go. So yeah. So this is what your PL2 does, and now it goes and calls 0x82. So in line number 81, please, in line number 81, I am doing task switch to PL3. So I am calling 0x82. Call 0x82. So what is 0x82? That is the, let us go and see that x/2x. Let us go and see what is there in D080. That is the segment. So this is again a task state segment of starting at B1300. And again, so this is again a task switch to TSS at 0x B300. Okay. And so what is now, let us go and see what is the EIP there, S/X0X B320. So this is the thing. So again your EIP is 0. So what is happening because of this task switch? Your EIP is 0. And let us see what are all the other things there, like what is your CS. So that will be B34C. Your CS uses a segment BB. So CS is now a segment, BB is 0xB8, right? So with privilege 3. So let us see what is there in that segment in the GDT. GDT starts at D1000, so D0B8. This is a code segment of privilege level 3, please note, starting at 8600. So this is base is 0xA600 and limit is 0x200 and what else? The privilege level is 3. So when I switch to this particular task, I am now going to execute at privilege level 3. Now let us go and see what is there for in B348. That's a null descriptor. So your ES is null. Now where is stack? x/x B350. This is a stack, it is pointing to 53. Stack is pointing to 53, means 50. So what is the 50 segment there? x/x 0x. D1000 is GDT start, so D050. So this is a stack at C300. Base is 0xC300. Limit is 0x100. And what is happening? Just 1 minute. Just if you see that, it's privilege level 3. This is a privilege level 3 code. Now let us also see what is happening to the other things. So let us see the remaining 3 things. D054 and above. Sorry, B354. So your code segment is at 30, your FS and GS are null. So please note that your FS and GS both are null and your data segment is at 0x33, which is actually 0x30. So let us go and find out what is there in 0xB330, 30. Sorry, D030. So this is a data segment starting at E1300, 100 base, and this is privilege 3. So now we will go and see that this is base is 0x E1300, limit is 0x100 and privilege is 3. And all this is done till line 81. Okay. Now all done by line 81. We should also go and find out what is the stack segment. So ESP. So ESP is, as you see here, the ESP is 38. So in the TSS, B338 will give you the ESP S/x 0x B338, and that gives you. So ESP is set to 50. Your along with the stack segment, your ESP is also set to 50. That's where you're coming here, and that's what you're all done by line 81. Now when I do this call, it should start executing at 8600 plus 0. It should start executing 8600. So essentially this align will take to 8600, and so the first thing that I will be executing is the PL3 task is I will be executing what? Line 89.